In a world that often equates productivity with worth, choosing silence is an act of courage. It is a declaration that rest, presence, and inner harmony matter. It is, above all, a gift to ourselves, to those we care for, and to the world at large. In a world that constantly hums with activity, where notifications never cease, and the relentless pace rarely allows for a moment's pause, silence can be both unfamiliar and uncomfortable. Yet, within silence lies a profound opportunity, a chance to rediscover ourselves, to find peace, and to connect with the quiet wisdom that often gets drowned out by the chaos of daily life. Finding peace in silence is not about escaping the world, but about tuning in to the deeper rhythms of existence. Silence has a language of its own. It speaks in a way that noise cannot. It invites us inward, encouraging reflection, fostering clarity, and nurturing healing. When we embrace silence, we learn to listen, not just to the world around us, but to the subtle stirrings of our own hearts and minds. Picture a quiet morning before the sun has fully risen. The world is still, the air crisp, and everything seems to be holding its breath. In this moment, there is a sense of vastness and possibility. The absence of sound creates space for us to simply be. In such moments, silence is not empty. It is full of presence, full of being, full of peace. Finding peace in silence often begins with intention. It requires us to deliberately step away from the noise, to carve out moments of quiet amid the clamor of life. This can be as simple as turning off our devices, taking a walk in nature, or sitting quietly with a cup of tea. At first, this quiet can feel unusual, even unsettling. We are so accustomed to constant stimulation that silence can seem foreign, even startling. But if we persist, we begin to notice something remarkable. The mind settles, thoughts slow, and a gentle calm begins to emerge. In silence, we are offered the opportunity to witness our thoughts without judgment. Instead of being swept away by every passing worry or distraction, we can simply observe. Thoughts rise, linger, and fade, like clouds moving across the sky. With practice, we discover that beneath the restless chatter of the mind is a deep well of stillness, a reservoir of peace that is always present, waiting for us to tap into it. Silence also allows us to listen to the world in a new way. Without the constant interference of noise, we become attuned to the subtle sounds we usually overlook. The rustling of leaves, the distant call of a bird, our own breath moving gently in and out. Each sound, cradled by silence, becomes a reminder of the present moment, the here and now. In this attentiveness, we are reminded that true peace is not found by fleeing life, but by fully inhabiting each moment with awareness and acceptance. The practice of silence has deep roots across cultures and traditions. Monks in monasteries, nuns in abbeys, yogis in remote caves, and seekers on solitary retreats have all recognized the transformative power of quietude. They have discovered that silence is not a void to be filled, but a sanctuary to be entered. The great poet Rumi once wrote, "Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation. In silence, we touch the mysteries that words cannot express. We encounter the sacred, the profound sense of belonging to something greater than ourselves." Modern research supports what sages have long known. Silence is essential for our well-being. Periods of quiet can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, enhance creativity, and improve concentration. When we give ourselves the gift of silence, we are offering our minds and bodies a much-needed reset, a way to recharge and replenish amidst life's demands. Yet, silence does not always come easily. For some, the quiet can surface anxiety, restlessness, or unresolved emotions. It can reveal the places in our hearts and minds that we would rather avoid. But this, too, is part of the process. By facing ourselves honestly in silence, we begin to integrate, to heal, and to grow. We come to realize that peace is not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of courage and acceptance. Cultivating peace in silence need not require long hours of solitude or retreating from the world entirely. Even brief moments of quiet, scattered throughout the day, can be deeply nourishing, It might mean taking a few deep breaths before a meeting, stepping outside to feel the sun on your face, or closing your eyes for a moment of gratitude. By weaving these pauses into our daily routines, we gradually transform our relationship to silence, from something we avoid to something we cherish. Over time, the effects of embracing silence ripple outward. We become more present, more compassionate, more attuned to the needs of ourselves and others. Our conversations deepen, our capacity for listening expands, and our hearts open. We discover that by giving ourselves space, we become more able to give to the world. Finding peace in silence is an ongoing journey, a practice rather than a destination. There will be times when the noise feels overwhelming, when it is difficult to carve out quietude in our lives. But each time we return to silence, we strengthen our connection to that inner stillness, making it more accessible even in the midst of turmoil. Ultimately, peace is not something we chase after. It is something we nurture within. In silence, we remember our true nature. Spacious, calm, resilient. We come home to ourselves, to a place where, regardless of external circumstances, we can find shelter from the storms of life. So the next time you are surrounded by noise or feel the pressure to keep moving, consider the power of pausing. Let yourself sink into silence, even if just for a moment. Feel the peace that arises, the softening of tension, the gentle return to what truly matters. In silence, we find not only respite, but renewal, a chance to begin again with greater clarity, intention, and peace.